There is a power so great, so precise, and so unfailing, that when you call upon it, wealth and abundance appear as though by magic. This power is not outside of you, it is within you, waiting for your command. The world may tell you that prosperity is earned only through struggle and strain, but the truth is far greater. Abundance flows not from effort alone, but from alignment with the divine law of supply. The moment you choose to believe that everything you desire is already yours, the doors of wealth swing open, and life begins to deliver blessings in ways you could never predict. The divine law of supply is one of the greatest secrets to manifesting wealth and abundance like magic. When understood, it reveals that the flow of prosperity is not a privilege for a chosen few, but a divine inheritance available to all who learn to attune themselves to its rhythm. Just as the sun rises faithfully every morning, this law is constant, unfailing, and impartial. The mistake most people make is in believing that supply comes from man, from a particular job, or from some external source. In truth, the wellspring of wealth does not originate in human channels, it flows directly from the infinite. When one grasps this truth, a new freedom dawns, anxiety dissolves, fear loses its grip, and the individual steps into a life where prosperity unfolds effortlessly. Consider for a moment the natural world. A tree does not worry whether it will receive sunlight, nor does a river fret about running dry. Nature lives in perfect trust with the law of supply, and because of this trust, it flourishes. Humanity, however, has forgotten this rhythm, and instead lives in fear of lack, constantly asking, "Will there be enough? Will I be taken care of? Will my needs be met?" These questions block the flow, for they spring from doubt, and doubt is the great thief of abundance. The law of supply answers only to faith, for faith is the substance that attracts all provision. When you believe, truly believe, that everything you need is already prepared for you, you open the channel through which riches and blessings flow without resistance. Many spend their days chasing money as though it were a scarce and elusive thing. They work harder, struggle longer, and press heavier burdens upon themselves, thinking that supply is limited and only earned through toil. Yet the divine law whispers a higher truth: money is not something to be chased, but something to be aligned with. Prosperity is not seized by force, but attracted through consciousness. When one recognizes that abundance is a spiritual state first, and a material manifestation second, the entire approach to wealth transforms. The individual stops striving and starts aligning, stops grasping and starts allowing. In this shift, supply begins to pour in through unexpected channels, often in ways so wondrous that they seem like magic. Imagine a person standing by a vast ocean with an empty cup. The ocean represents infinite supply, endless wealth waiting to be drawn upon. Yet, if the person holds out only a small cup, that is all they will receive. The limitation is never in the ocean, it is only in the vessel. In the same way, the law of supply is infinite, but it can only give to you in accordance with the size of your faith and the vision of your expectation. If you believe in barely enough, you will live in barely enough. If you believe in more than enough, life will mirror that belief back to you. The universe is not measuring what you deserve, it is measuring what you believe. This law is impartial, much like the law of gravity. It does not choose favorites. A wealthy person is not wealthy because the universe favors them over another. They are wealthy because they have aligned, knowingly or unknowingly, with the rhythm of supply. They have opened themselves to receive. The poor man and the rich man live under the same law, just as both stand upon the same earth beneath the same sun. What separates them is not chance, nor luck, nor divine favoritism, but consciousness. Consciousness is the magnet that attracts supply. What one holds in mind, one holds in life. The reason so many experience lack is because they entertain thoughts of lack. They speak words of limitation, declaring, "I cannot afford this," "There is never enough," or "Money is hard to come by." These words are commands to the unseen, shaping experience into their likeness. The law is exact. It gives you not what you want, but what you believe. To step into wealth and abundance, one must replace thoughts of lack with thoughts of plenty, and words of fear with words of faith. Affirm daily that the law of supply is working for you, that riches flow to you in perfect and effortless ways, that everything you need comes to you in divine order. As these affirmations take root, the soil of your consciousness changes, and soon, the harvest of your life changes with it. The divine law of supply always finds a channel to express itself. If one door closes, another will open. If one stream of income dries up, another will be revealed. Fear says, "My resources are gone." Faith says, "My resources are infinite." Fear clings to what it has, terrified it will lose it. Faith releases freely, knowing that what is given returns multiplied. This is why those who understand the law live with an open hand, not a clenched fist. They give generously, bless freely, and release with joy, because they know that what leaves their hand does not leave their life. It circles back, greater and more abundant than before. There is a common belief that wealth must always come through hard struggle, but this belief is another illusion of lack. Work, in truth, is but one of the many channels through which supply flows. The law is not bound by one stream. It has infinite streams at its disposal. Money can arrive through opportunities, gifts, promotions, sudden inspirations, unexpected channels, and miraculous coincidences. Once you stop believing that your job or one person is your source, you allow the universe to move in wondrous ways. When you cling to one source, you cut off the infinite. But when you declare, "My supply is infinite and comes to me through many channels, in perfect timing," you free the law to deliver blessings that surpass your imagination. The greatest key to activating this law is faith, unwavering, unshakable faith. Faith is the currency of the invisible. Faith is the magnet that draws unseen supply into visible form. Faith declares that abundance is already here, even when the outer eyes see only emptiness. Faith gives thanks before the harvest arrives, knowing it is already secured. Faith never asks, "How will it come?" Faith simply says, "It is done." The law of supply delights in such certainty, for certainty is the vibration that opens the floodgates of abundance. To live in harmony with this divine law is to live without fear. It is to rest in the assurance that every need will be met, every desire will be fulfilled, and every step will be provided for. When you live in this knowing, you stop running after wealth and instead allow wealth to run after you. Prosperity begins to seek you, chase you, and surround you, for you have become a magnet to it. This is the magic of the law. It does not require force, only alignment. In the beginning was the Word, and from that Word, all creation took form. This truth has echoed through the ages, whispered by sages, mystics, and visionaries who understood that speech is not a mere vibration of sound. It is the shaping force of reality. Words carry life. They hold the power to call forth abundance or to summon lack, to attract prosperity or to repel it. To understand the creative power of words is to hold in your grasp the very key to wealth, health, and happiness. Every word spoken is a seed planted in the garden of your consciousness. Once uttered, that seed begins to take root, drawing to itself everything necessary to produce a harvest that mirrors its essence. Words of wealth, spoken with faith, produce wealth. Words of lack, spoken with fear, produce lack. The universe is impartial. It simply reflects the vibration of your words back into form. Just as a farmer cannot plant thorns and expect roses, you cannot speak words of limitation and expect abundance. The law of words is exact, unfailing, and immutable. Many people are careless with speech, not realizing that every casual statement carries the weight of creation. They declare, "Money is scarce," and soon money flees from their experience. They sigh, "I can never get ahead," and life obliges by keeping them behind. They complain, "Everything is going wrong," and their words summon more chaos. This is not coincidence, it is law. Words are commands to the unseen substance of life, shaping it into visible reality. Whether spoken in faith or in fear, words are never empty, they are the architects of experience. To manifest wealth and abundance like magic, one must learn to guard the tongue as a sacred instrument. The mouth becomes the wand of creation, directing the flow of prosperity into form. Speak only what you desire, never what you fear. Speak only what you wish to see, never what you dread. Say, I am rich in every way, and the universe will hasten to mirror that declaration. Say, money flows to me easily and effortlessly, and unseen forces begin arranging circumstances to fulfill it. Say, I live in a world of plenty, and soon the outer world conforms to match your inner decree. Words have the power not only to shape your own life, but to influence the lives of others. Blessing spoken over another carries the same creative potency. To say, may abundance surround you, is to release a current of prosperity into their path, which often circles back to bless you as well. Likewise, words of envy, criticism, or condemnation return multiplied, bringing lack to the speaker. This is why wise souls practice the art of blessing. They bless their money before spending it, bless their work before doing it, bless their friends, their home, and even strangers they meet. Every blessing spoken sends forth a ripple of creative energy that returns as multiplied good. The secret lies not only in speaking words of abundance, but in speaking them with conviction. Empty affirmations, recited without belief, hold little power. But when words are spoken with faith, when they are charged with the vibration of certainty, they become unstoppable. Faith is the life breath of words, giving them substance and form. When you say, I am wealthy, and feel the truth of it reverberate through your being, those words become a decree. The universe hears them as law, and all creation rushes to obey. There is also great power in silence. Words are most potent when born from the stillness of inner alignment. To speak constantly from anxiety dilutes the force of your declarations, but when you pause, center yourself, and then speak with authority, your words become as arrows, sharp and precise, hitting their mark. Speak less, but speak with purpose. Each word should be a sacred decree, a command to the unseen, a prophecy of wealth fulfilled. The tongue can open doors or close them. It can call forth treasures or scatter them to the wind. If you wish to know why your life appears as it does, listen to the words you speak daily. They are the blueprint of your reality. Do you speak lack more often than abundance? Do you complain more than you give thanks? Do you declare problems more than solutions? Change the language, and the life must change, for words and life are inseparable. Many people say, I am just speaking the truth of what I see. But what is seen is not the highest truth, it is only a reflection of past words and beliefs. If you continue to speak only of what is visible, you will remain bound to it. The power lies in speaking what is unseen until it becomes visible. Faith-filled words declare the invisible as though it already exists, and in doing so, they draw it into manifestation. Say, I live in endless abundance, even when the purse is empty. Say, I prosper in all I do, even when doors appear closed. Say, everything I touch brings increase, even when evidence seems contrary. Words spoken in faith override appearances, for appearances are temporary, but the law of words is eternal. Consider how often people curse their finances without realizing it. They say, this money won't last, and indeed it doesn't. They say, I never have enough, and lack faithfully obeys. They say, I am drowning in debt, and the waters rise higher. Each of these statements is a spell, for every word spoken casts a vibration that brings itself to life. If such power can be used unconsciously to create lack, how much more power can be harnessed consciously to create wealth? The same mouth that curses can bless, the same tongue that repels can attract. It is only a matter of turning the key. Every word is either a contract with poverty or a covenant with abundance. When you begin to declare words of prosperity with unwavering faith, you sign a covenant with the universe itself, and that covenant cannot be broken. Wealth will find you, opportunities will chase you, and abundance will circle you, for you have decreed it. Speak often, but speak wisely. Let your words drip with the honey of prosperity, Let them flow with the oil of gladness, let them carry the fragrance of wealth. There is great wisdom in beginning and ending each day with declarations of abundance. Upon waking, say, "Today money flows to me in miraculous ways. My day is filled with prosperity, success, and joy." Before sleeping, say, "I give thanks that I live in a world of plenty. Tomorrow brings even greater blessings." In this way, you set the rhythm of your life through words, and the rhythm continues to beat in harmony with abundance. Words are creative fire. Once you grasp this truth, you will never again speak carelessly. You will know that every syllable carries within it the power to bless or to bind. You will use the tongue as an instrument of wealth, prosperity, and creation, calling forth riches as easily as breathing, for the words you speak are the seeds of the world you inhabit. Imagination is the secret workshop of creation, the sacred chamber where all abundance is first conceived before it is born into form. Wealth begins not in banks, nor in markets, nor in the hands of men. It begins in the unseen realm of thought and imagination. What you can vividly picture, you can bring into your world. What you dare to see in the inner eye, you will one day hold in your hands. Imagination is the magic wand that shapes the invisible into the visible, the abstract into the concrete, the spiritual into the material. Every great fortune, every grand creation, every empire that ever existed began as a spark in someone's imagination. The buildings that rise in cities, the inventions that change lives, the wealth that flows through families, each was once nothing more than a thought held in the fertile soil of the mind. To underestimate imagination is to cut oneself off from the very fountain of abundance. For imagination is not fantasy, it is prophecy. It is the inner vision that becomes the outer experience. The majority of people misuse this gift, turning imagination into a servant of fear rather than a channel of faith. They imagine poverty, and poverty manifests. They imagine debt, and debt multiplies. They imagine loss, and loss arrives at their door. Each fearful picture held in the mind is a negative prophecy fulfilled, for the mind cannot distinguish between an image vividly imagined and a reality already lived. What is seen inwardly will inevitably take form outwardly. This is why the wise guard the images they hold with as much care as the words they speak. To manifest wealth and abundance like magic, one must learn to use imagination as an ally, a tool, a sacred wand of creation. Begin by crafting in your mind the picture of the life you desire, not the life you fear. See yourself living in ease, walking in prosperity, surrounded by beauty. Imagine wealth flowing to you in streams of unexpected blessings. Picture opportunities opening before you, doors swinging wide, and resources arriving with perfect timing. Feel the joy of already having what you seek. Let the image be so vivid, so alive, that it glows in the theater of your mind. Imagination without emotion is weak, but imagination charged with feeling is unstoppable. When you picture wealth, let gratitude fill your heart as though the blessing were already here. Feel the delight of holding it, the relief of receiving it, the joy of enjoying it. The more real it feels inwardly, the faster it manifests outwardly. For the law of life is simple: what you feel with conviction becomes flesh in your world. Imagination is not daydreaming, it is the rehearsal of destiny. Some may say, "But I am only pretending," yet pretending is the very doorway to creation. A child pretends to be a king, and in his imagination he reigns upon a throne. That throne may be wooden blocks, but to the child it is gold and marble. And what is the result? He feels the majesty, the authority, the joy of his imagined kingship. In time, that same spirit can lead him into true realms of power. Adults have forgotten the art of pretending, dismissing it as folly, yet the universe responds to imagination with perfect seriousness. The images you hold are treated as blueprints for creation. You may look at your current life and say, "But I cannot imagine more when I see so little before me." Yet this is precisely when imagination is most powerful. If you only imagine what you already see, you will remain bound to what you already have. To use imagination rightly is to rise above appearances and declare, What I see is temporary, but what I picture is eternal. Appearances are shadows, imagination is substance. Appearances change with every shifting wind, but imagination lays the foundation for what is to come. Picture money in your hands, even if your pockets are empty. Imagine walking through a beautiful home, even if your current dwelling is plain. See yourself giving generously, even if today you struggle to meet your own needs. Each image is a seed. If nourished with faith and watered with gratitude, it will grow into a harvest beyond measure. Many have testified that when they began picturing wealth daily, opportunities suddenly appeared, doors opened, and resources flowed in ways they never could have predicted. Was it chance? No, it was imagination transmuted into reality. The mind is like a projector, and life is the screen. What you project inwardly will appear outwardly. If you do not like the movie playing on the screen of your life, do not attempt to change the screen. Change the film. Imagination is the film reel. Change the pictures, and the story of your life changes. If poverty is on repeat, swap it for abundance. If struggle is playing endlessly, replace it with ease. If lack is the storyline, insert a new reel where wealth and joy abound. The universe cannot resist a mind that holds a steady picture of prosperity. Consistency is key. A single burst of imagination followed by days of doubt creates confusion in the unseen. But a steady, daily practice of imagining wealth and abundance builds momentum like a wheel gathering speed. Soon, the inner picture becomes so alive, so undeniable, that it impresses itself upon the outer world. Hold the vision unwaveringly, and life must bend to match it. This is the hidden power behind those who seem to attract wealth effortlessly. They carry within them a picture of prosperity so constant that reality has no choice but to conform. Do not limit imagination to personal wealth alone. Use it to picture a life of contribution, of blessing, of generosity. Imagine yourself not only receiving riches, but also dispersing them with joy, supporting others, lifting burdens, and creating beauty in the world. Such images carry a double power, for they align you with the universal law of giving and receiving. The universe delights in blessing those who bless others. To see yourself as a channel of abundance is to open the floodgates wider, for more is given to the one who is willing to share. Imagination can also be used to transform obstacles into stepping stones. When faced with difficulties, instead of picturing defeat, imagine solutions. Picture yourself rising above challenges with grace. See the path clear before you, even when in reality it seems blocked. By imagining success in the face of hardship, you call forth strength, courage, and the very opportunities needed to turn the situation around. Life bends to the vision of one who refuses to see anything but victory. Remember always, imagination is not bound by time, place, or circumstance. It can leap beyond the present, beyond what is realistic, and grasp the impossible, and when held long enough, the impossible becomes inevitable. This is the magic of imagination. It is the rehearsal of miracles, the drawing of blueprints for abundance. The unseen power that transforms lives. Faith is the golden bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the invisible substance that draws abundance from the realm of spirit into the realm of matter. Fear, on the other hand, is the great robber, the thief of wealth, the shadow that blocks the light of prosperity. Where faith opens the gates of supply, fear slams them shut. Where faith multiplies blessings, fear shrinks them into nothing. To manifest wealth and abundance like magic, one must learn to walk steadfastly in faith and banish fear as an unwelcome guest. Consider the nature of fear. Fear is faith inverted. It is belief in the power of lack instead of the power of supply. It is trust in failure rather than trust in success. It is confidence that disaster will come instead of certainty that good is already on its way. Fear is not passive, it is active. It projects images of ruin into the imagination, speaks words of loss from the tongue, and creates conditions of lack in the outer world. Fear is not harmless worry. It is a creative force, shaping circumstances according to its grim vision. This is why fear must be dealt with as firmly as weeds in a garden. If left unchecked, fear grows quickly, choking out the seeds of abundance planted in the soil of the mind. A single fearful thought, if indulged, multiplies into many. Doubt whispers, "What if the money doesn't come?" Soon it grows into, "Perhaps I am destined to struggle." Left to spread, it becomes, "Nothing ever works out for me." Each fearful statement is a decree, each fearful image a blueprint. And life, obedient to law, brings it forth as reality. Faith, however, is the antidote. Faith declares, "My supply is sure, my abundance is guaranteed, my wealth is already here." Faith refuses to be swayed by appearances, for appearances are deceptive and temporary. Faith looks beyond the outer to the inner, beyond the visible to the invisible. Where fear sees a closed door, faith sees an open window. Where fear sees scarcity, faith beholds overflowing plenty. Where fear sees delay, faith rejoices in perfect timing. Faith is not blind optimism. It is not ignoring reality, but recognizing a higher reality. The eyes may see emptiness, but faith knows fullness. The purse may appear empty, but faith says, "Wealth is on the way." The job may seem uncertain, but faith affirms, "My supply is infinite, and no one can block it." Faith holds steady to this inner knowing, regardless of circumstances, and by that steadiness, it reshapes the outer world. Fear is always impatient. It demands to know how, when, and through what means abundance will arrive. Fear insists on controlling the process, and in doing so, it creates resistance. Faith, in contrast, is calm. Faith does not ask how, because it knows the how is not its business. Faith simply says, "It is done." Faith rests in certainty that the way will be revealed at the perfect time, through the perfect channel. And because faith is relaxed, doors open easily, opportunities flow smoothly, and blessings arrive as if by magic. Imagine standing at the edge of a river. Fear says, "What if I step in and drown?" Faith says, "The river carries me to my destination." Fear freezes you at the shore, paralyzed by doubt. Faith steps into the water, and the current of abundance lifts you, carrying you with ease. The river of supply is always flowing, but only faith has the courage to step into its stream. Fear will keep you thirsty on the shore, watching others be carried to prosperity, while faith dives in and experiences the fullness of the flow. The law of life is clear. Whatever you fear, you draw near. Whatever you have faith in, you bring forth. Fear of poverty creates poverty. Faith in abundance creates abundance. Fear of failure brings failure. Faith in success brings success. This is not superstition, it is law. The universe responds to vibration, and fear vibrates lack, while faith vibrates plenty. To live in fear is to tune your life to the station of scarcity. To live in faith is to tune to the frequency of abundance. Faith is strengthened by practice. Just as muscles grow through exercise, faith grows through use. Begin with small declarations. Today, I am provided for. Watch as small needs are met. Then grow bolder. Wealth flows to me in perfect ways. See how unexpected opportunities appear. With each demonstration, faith grows stronger, until it becomes unshakable. Eventually, faith is no longer something you practice. It becomes the air you breathe, the lens through which you see the world. Fear, too, is strengthened by practice. Each time you give voice to doubt, each time you imagine worst-case scenarios, you feed fear's power. This is why you must starve fear. Do not speak its language, do not entertain its images, do not give it attention. When fear whispers, silence it with declarations of faith. When it paints pictures of lack, erase them with visions of abundance. When it tempts you to worry, respond with thanksgiving for blessings already on their way. Fear cannot survive where faith is steadfast. Faith is the power that transforms impossible situations. History is filled with accounts of those who stood against overwhelming odds yet prevailed, not because they had resources, but because they had faith. Faith calls into existence things that do not yet appear. It declares victory in the face of defeat, wealth in the face of poverty, health in the face of sickness. And because faith is law, reality bends to match it. Fear would have said it cannot be done. Faith does it anyway. Faith also multiplies. When you believe in abundance, Your very presence inspires others to believe. Your words carry conviction. Your energy radiates assurance. Your actions display courage. Others feel it, catch it, and rise with you. Fear spreads like infection, but faith spreads like fire. When you walk in faith, you become a beacon of abundance, a magnet drawing not only wealth to yourself, but also awakening prosperity in those around you. Fear makes you cling. Faith makes you release. Fear says, I must hold tightly to what I have, or I will lose it. Faith says, what I give returns multiplied. Fear hoards, faith circulates. Fear contracts, faith expands. And because the universe always mirrors your inner state, fear results in shrinking circumstances, while faith results in growing prosperity. To give freely, to bless generously, to circulate with joy is the mark of one who lives in faith. Such a one is never in want, for the flow of abundance cannot be stopped where faith reigns. In every decision, you stand at a crossroads between faith and fear. One path leads to lack, struggle, and limitation. The other leads to wealth, ease, and abundance. The choice is made not once but daily, moment by moment. Each thought, each word, each action is either aligned with faith or surrendered to fear. The secret to a life of prosperity is simply choose faith, again and again, until fear has no place left within you. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the treasure chest of life. It is the alchemy that transforms what you have into more than enough, and what is unseen into visible form. Gratitude is not simply a polite thank you offered after receiving. It is a spiritual power, a creative force, and a magnetic current that draws abundance from the unseen into the seen. Where gratitude is, lack cannot exist. Where gratitude is practiced, prosperity multiplies like loaves and fishes in the hands of faith. Most people wait until blessings arrive before giving thanks. They see gratitude as a reaction, a response to good fortune. But true gratitude is proactive. It gives thanks before the harvest, and by doing so, it calls the harvest into being. Gratitude is faith expressed. To say, I give thanks for my wealth, even before the wealth is visible, is to declare to the universe, I know it is already mine. Gratitude bridges the gap between desire and manifestation, between longing and fulfillment. It turns invisible supply into tangible abundance. Imagine a farmer who plants seeds in the soil. He waters them, tends them, and gives thanks for the harvest long before a single green shoot breaks the ground. Why? Because he knows the harvest is certain. Gratitude works the same way in the realm of abundance. When you give thanks for wealth, for opportunities, for prosperity, even before they appear, you are acknowledging their certainty. The universe responds by hastening their arrival, for gratitude vibrates on the same frequency as manifestation. Gratitude also changes the lens through which you see life. Fear looks at what is missing. Gratitude sees what is already present. Fear magnifies lack. Gratitude magnifies abundance. Fear complains. Gratitude blesses. Fear contracts the heart. Gratitude expands it. And because the outer world mirrors the inner state, a grateful heart attracts more to be grateful for, while an ungrateful heart attracts more to complain about. Gratitude is not only a virtue, it is a law of increase. Consider those who complain constantly. They speak of bills, burdens, and shortages. Their words repel prosperity. Even when blessings come, they dismiss them as not enough. In this state, the universe withholds, for it cannot pour abundance into a vessel already declaring emptiness. Now look at the one who gives thanks for every small blessing. They thank the universe for the roof overhead, the food on the table, the opportunities before them, even the breath in their lungs. Such a one glows with abundance, and life rushes to match their vibration. Doors open, resources flow, and prosperity surrounds them. It is not chance. It is gratitude multiplying blessings. Gratitude also heals the past and transforms the present. Many live in regret, rehearsing old wounds, replaying mistakes, dwelling in what-ifs. This mindset ties them to lack, for the energy of regret is heavy and stagnant. Gratitude breaks those chains. To give thanks for the lessons hidden within challenges, for the wisdom born of mistakes, for the strength gained through trials, is to transmute the past into treasure. Gratitude redeems even pain, turning it into a stepping stone to abundance. And in the present moment, gratitude is the quickest way to elevate consciousness. To pause and say, "Thank you for this day, thank you for this moment, thank you for the unseen blessings already on their way," is to align instantly with prosperity. Gratitude is presence. It draws you out of worry for the future and regret for the past into the abundance of now. And from that state of presence, the next blessings flow effortlessly, for the universe delights in a grateful heart. Gratitude is also magnetic. When you are grateful for money, money multiplies. When you are grateful for opportunities, opportunities increase. When you are grateful for health, health strengthens. Whatever you bless, expands. Whatever you curse, diminishes. If you complain about money as it leaves your hands, it flees from you. If you bless it as it circulates, it returns multiplied. Begin blessing your money, whether it is a single coin or a large sum, and you will see it grow. Each blessing spoken is a magnet drawing more of its kind. There is wisdom in blessing not only what you have but also what you desire. If you wish for a beautiful home, begin thanking the universe now. "I give thanks for my perfect home that awaits me." If you desire financial freedom, declare, "I am grateful for the wealth that flows to me in perfect ways." If you long for opportunities, affirms, "I am thankful for the doors that are opening before me." Gratitude spoken in advance is a signal to the universe that you already possess it inwardly, and therefore it must appear outwardly. Gratitude also releases resistance. So many block their blessings by clinging to worry, doubt, and frustration. They push against life and life pushes back. Gratitude relaxes the grip. It softens the heart, eases the mind, and allows the current of supply to flow unimpeded. To give thanks is to say, "I trust," and trust is the open channel through which abundance flows. The more you give thanks, the wider the channel becomes, until blessings pour in with such ease that it feels like magic. There is no limit to the practice of gratitude. It can be spoken aloud, whispered in silence, written in journals, or carried in thought. Some rise each morning and list their blessings, setting the tone of the day. Others pause before meals to bless the food, infusing it with gratitude's energy. Some give thanks before sleep, releasing the day with appreciation and planting seeds of abundance for tomorrow. However it is practiced, gratitude multiplies what it touches. Gratitude also protects against envy and comparison. When you look at another's prosperity and feel lack, you repel your own. But when you bless another's success with genuine gratitude for the proof of abundance in the world, you align yourself with it. Gratitude says, "What I bless in another, I call into my own life," and soon the prosperity you admired in others manifests in your experience. Envy closes the door, gratitude flings it wide open. Even challenges yield to gratitude. When obstacles arise, instead of cursing them, give thanks for the hidden opportunity within them. Say, "I am grateful that even this is working for my good." Gratitude transforms setbacks into setups, delays into divine timing, closed doors into redirections. Life bends in your favor when you meet it with thanksgiving, for gratitude is the language of faith. Gratitude, then, is not simply an attitude. It is a creative power, a magnetic current, a spiritual law. It is the invisible hand that multiplies blessings, opens doors, and unlocks the treasure chest of abundance. Those who live in gratitude live in wealth, for they are continually aligned with the source of supply. And as gratitude grows, so too does the flow of prosperity, until life itself becomes an endless feast of blessings. As you walk this path of wealth and abundance, remember that the treasure you seek is not hidden far away. It is already seated within you. The divine blueprint of prosperity has always been written into your soul, waiting only for recognition, faith, and the steady current of gratitude to bring it forth. Each word you speak, each thought you nurture, each blessing you acknowledge shapes the unseen into form. You are not chasing wealth, you are unveiling it. You are not striving for abundance, you are aligning with it. And as you align, The universe cannot help but respond, for it mirrors your faith, your gratitude, your unwavering declaration that all you desire is already yours. Walk boldly, bless freely, give thanks endlessly, and watch as the invisible becomes visible, as dreams turn into daily reality, as wealth and abundance flow to you like magic.